What's up, guys? Mike here, head trader at your trading group. It's February 19th, and this SPCE is wild. You guys saw my video yesterday. I got short SPCE yesterday at 34.09. I covered some of that position yesterday around 30, but I'm still holding the bulk of that position. And unfortunately, I am still holding the bulk of that position as I make this video. I'll give you an update with this SPCE trade, but later in the video, we're going to talk about how to tier into a trade line VWAP cross because I'm just been riding the wave on this Tesla trade, guys, and made some really good money on Tesla today. Unfortunately, the money that I'm down here on this SPCE short is basically just not quite, but almost canceling out all the money that I made on the Tesla long today. So that's kind of upsetting and kind of frustrating. But the Tesla trade was a really good one. It was a nice long in the morning. And I'm going to go over with you guys how to tier into, like how to start with a tier 1, which is 25% of your desired size, and then how to add to that position once the trade or the pattern triggers. There's a very specific area in that setup where you can add to your position with conviction. And that's what I did today. And it worked out really well. So we're going to talk about that in the video. But first, let's talk about SPCE, guys. I'm still short from 34.09. I'm watching it right now as I make this video after market. We're trading just below 39. I don't see how I can hold on to this position overnight. The stock held up all day today. And I just kind of looked at it like this was just retail that was coming into the market because they talked about SPCE all day on CNBC. All day on CNBC. All I hear is, oh, it's the Tesla of space. It's the Tesla of space. It's like, it's all they talked about. And I was thinking, you know what? I feel like the gap up today, we're trading sideways. Like the stock was really just consolidating, trading sideways for the whole day. And I'm like, it's being held up, I felt, by just a bunch of retail hype. Okay. Retail hype is what I thought was holding this up. And I thought we still had a chance to kind of pull it back in later in the day or possibly maybe eventually then pull back tomorrow. But then this happened right before the closing bell. It just looked like shorts just said, screw this. I think you had a lot of shorts get into this yesterday. I mean, I did. And I think you just saw a lot of that position just say, you know what, screw this. And they just bailed on it, and it pushed this thing right up to test these all-time highs. We actually made new all-time highs after the market, and now we're sitting right at it. Okay, yesterday's high was that previous all-time high. You can see we're sitting right at it. I don't know how I can confidently hold this position. I really don't think I can. This is a crazy daily chart. I can't remember seeing a daily chart that looked like this. I've been trying to think about throughout my career, like when's the last time I saw a daily chart like this? And I really don't remember any that looked like this, guys, honestly. This candle that was put in yesterday, this red candle is a shooting star textbook topping blow off type candle. For us to take that entire candle out today is wild. It's wild. I mean, I know this is a momentum name, and everyone's gonna be like, "Mike, this is a momentum stock." I get that, but even with that being said, to take back that move and to take back that candle in one day is just insane. Okay, that's like when Tesla on the daily chart. Okay, yes, it ended up taking back this topping candle. This is also a reversal signal. This is a topping candle. Okay, not even more so a bearish signal as the one that you got in SPCE. SPCE is even more of a bearish topping candle. But you see how it took time to take it back? Okay, SPCE, for it to have taken back that sell-off in one day is wild. It's wild, and it really just completely threw me for a loop. I thought there was not a chance in hell this stock was going to get back to 38 today. So when we got back to 38, and it was right before the close, I was like, "What the hell is happening?" And I don't think I can hold this, guys, over now. I'm probably going to cover this I'm probably going to cover this before the after hour session closes. I don't want to see this thing gap up to 41 or 42. Could we gap right back down to 36, 35 tomorrow? We could. but at this point, I'm just carrying way more risk on this position than I initially intended. Um, so unless we get a significant pullback in the late after hour session, I'll probably just cut this out. Um, while I'm still green on the day here from the Tesla trade. I don't want to just end up going, this thing gaps up to 41 and I'm giving it all back. So that's kind of the update with SPCE. Let's talk about Tesla real quick. And I'll show you guys how to scale in to a trade line VWAP crossover. So here you have this Tesla, guys. Tesla with the big gap up. Okay, Tesla was in this consolidation. We broke up above it yesterday. You had the big gap up today. Obviously, the trend is still to the long side. We came into the day today with a long bias on Tesla. I thought we were going to maybe get up towards 950, 955 today. We didn't quite get there, but I was still coming into the day with a long bias. So what we have happen here on Tesla, guys, is the nice gap up. All right, we end up pulling in a little bit off the bell, and then we find support at the 38.2 Fibonacci level and the trade line. So the trade line steps in here and acts as an area of support, steps in here again to act as an area of support. So I came in right here and I bought a tier 1 position long on Tesla. I'll take you guys to my trade announcements on the day. Here you can see long a tier 1 position at 911.37. Stop loss was the low of the day, saying I'm going to add tier 2 through the 915 area. 915, where am I getting that from? It's this VWAP area, guys. You can see we're kind of holding below VWAP. And I thought if we got above VWAP, we'd get a trade line VWAP crossover, and that can push us up towards highs. So the way you want to tier yourself into this pattern specifically, which is one of my favorite patterns, which is a trade line VWAP crossover that I cover. It's got its own chapter in the advanced course section of the TTG curriculum. Those were all the courses that I wrote that are available to all the TTG members. So it's got its own entire course, okay, about this setup, and it's the trade line VWAP crossover. So this is how you would tier your way into this position. So tier 1 would be below VWAP as you're seeing the trade line start to hold support. Now you do that because in case VWAP acts as resistance and the stock does not get back above VWAP, in that case, it most likely makes a new low of the day if it cannot get back above VWAP. And if that happens, you end up stopping out of your position, but only on tier 1. Tier 1 is 25% of your desired size. So you take a very small loss and then you move on. If you get above VWAP, the chances of you getting that trade line VWAP crossover begins to increase. So once we popped our head above VWAP right here, I added to a full size tier 2 position, I added tier 2 to get myself up to a full size position. So here you can see I added tier 2 at 915.56 and my stop loss at 909, which is right below VWAP and right at where the trade line was sitting at the time when I added to that position. Now I'm in a full size, and you look for the trade line to cross over VWAP, give you a trade line VWAP crossover right there, and that pushed us up towards new highs. The first take profit on this trade, guys, will be in front of the high of the day. So right there in front of the high of the day, I took 25% of my position off the table. You see here at 921.77. The next take profit is an extension to new highs. We broke through the high of the day and extended. I took the bulk of my position off the table at 934.41. It's a real nice gain there, guys. That's $19 a share from my ad. Okay, $19 a share from my ad, $23 a share from the initial tier 1 entry. So this is a really nice trade. I was able to add to get up to a full size position to really capitalize and really pull out some real nice P&L out of this trade. Now, at this point, I'm still in 25% of the trade, looking to see if we can get that extension up towards 950. We didn't quite get there. Okay, we didn't quite get there. We got as high as 944.78. My final take profit was going to be up in this region. We just didn't quite get there. So I missed out on that final take profit up there. We ended up pulling back in. As soon as it broke down back below the initial morning high and below VWAP, right there is where I exited the last piece of my position. Final take profit at 919.85. So profitable all the way around. Okay, again, here's tier 1 entry, here's tier 2 entry, first take profit, second take profit, and final take profit. All right, so this is a really nice trade. I was able to pull out some really good P&L, but like I said, again, I'm just basically, canceling this trade out by still being short this SPCE. So we'll see what happens with this SPCE, guys. If I plan, I most likely will bail on this before the after hour session is over. It's just too much risk for me to carry this. I mean, this thing could easily, with this daily chart, honestly, I mean, I've seen probably a million charts throughout my career, and I do not remember looking at a daily chart that looked like this. So if that's the case, I'm not really sure what's going to happen here. Could we gap down? Yes. Could we gap up to 41? Yes. It's just too much risk, I feel, for me to carry right now. So I'm most likely going to exit. Like I said, unless we get a significant pullback into the in the after hour session, which doesn't seem like it's happening, I'm going to exit this and not carry this overnight. All right. So that's it, guys. I'll see you all in chat tomorrow. Take care.